Can you see London in one day?
People really don't care what you are, who you are, and where you come from.
It's a cultural hotspot. It's the place to be for a lot of things.
Top 3 places that everyone must see.
Nobody knows about that. It's very hush-hush.
The Natural History Museum.
Pint is just over 500 millilitres of beer.
There's Dinorama in Shoreditch.
Where to go out on Friday night?
Soho, you wear high heels.
A lot of celebrities go there.
Do you think London is sexy?
Hell yes.
Hi YouTube, what's up? My name is Zane and this is Provocative TV. So today we are going to talk to people about what you should know if you plan to visit London this year. And before we get started, thumbs up for the video, subscribe below, grab some food, enjoy the video, and let's get started.
Hello, I'm Charlotte and I'm from London. At the moment, I'm a stay-at-home mum. I just had a baby 5 months ago.
Congratulations. So today we're going to talk about London, and this video is going to be for people who will come to London and they don't know anything, where to eat, where to go. Hopefully this video is going to be helpful for them. So what do you think? Can you see London in one day if you're a tourist?
You can see London in one day if you're a tourist. I would say that you would probably see all the major landmarks. You might not get to the nitty-gritty of like certain areas, if that makes sense, that are still worth seeing. I don't think you could do that in a whole day. But you'll probably see like Tower of London, Tower Bridge, and you come over this way, Westminster, City Hall, that kind of stuff as well.
Josh Webber from London, born and raised. Real estate, property. No, because there's so much to see. London is like one of the biggest cities in the world and it's got so many different like areas. You can't see London in a day.
In 3 days?
No.
1 week?
No.
Ellie May, and I'm from Finsbury Park. I'm a student at University of Arts. It depends if you're coming for like the mainstream tourism things, so London Eye and a few museums. Yeah, you can do that in a day, but I think if you want to see London for what it is, you need to visit the small places because that's where the communities are. Like the big places are great, but you want to see the real London, you have to go to the small places.
So how long do you need to see the real London?
I'd say maybe 3-4 days.
My name is Francisco. I'm from Portugal, but I live in London for 12 years now. I work in events industry.
What makes London special? Why people should visit London?
First, it's a massive city with a lot of culture. A lot of people from all over the world live here. So it's some people actually say it's hard to find an English person from London and living in London. But you know, there's a lot of different aspects to it. From the shopping, from the culture stuff like museums. You have a lot of musicals and stuff that people like to watch, and especially here. Nightlife as well, a little bit. I wouldn't say necessarily for the food of the English food necessarily, but there's a lot of international brands here, so it's good to come here as well for that.
There's a massive sense of freedom. You can be who you want to be, you can dress how you want to dress, and people won't bat an eyelid. And I think that's what makes London so great, because people really don't care what you are, who you are, and where you come from. So that's what's great about London.
History, culture, architecture, the Queen, royal family, landmarks, everything. Carnaby Street.
And where you can enjoy history and art in London?
The Natural History Museum would be probably the best one, but anywhere you go in London, you'll see. London is built on history.
For me, London is special because there's so many different things going on here. It's a cultural hotspot. It's the place to be for a lot of things. There's like restaurants, cinema, museums. There's just always something going on here that's worth being in town for.
I'm Kerry and I'm from South London. I do marketing.
Your top 3 places that everyone must see in London?
I like the South Bank because you can walk along there and see there's like markets, and you can see the London Eye, and you can walk along to Borough Market. Well, that's 3 places. There's the Shard there as well. That area is nice. Where else? I think you should go to like a street feast food market and get all different foods. Hyde Park or somewhere like that to see some greenery.
Bond Street, there's the Alexander McQueen flagship shop. At the top, on the 3rd floor, there's an exhibition. So it's like pieces that haven't been seen before. It's free for the public, and they want you to come in and just take a look at behind the scenes, I guess. So that's really good. Nobody knows about that. It's very hush-hush. I definitely say the Victoria and Albert Museum. If you're coming to London, it's probably the most British thing to do. I'd go to Covent Garden. It's beautiful, and there's a sense of just beauty there. There's coffee shops, there's little one-off shops, and it's really close to Central. I think it's win-win.
Depends what they're coming for. In terms of if they're looking for sightseeing places, I think number 1 on the list would be Buckingham Palace. If you want to see the high end where all the celebrities go wine and dine, Mayfair, which is up there. I always Mayfair, look at the end of like the Monopoly board, the most expensive area. So it's always nice to go there. Probably we've also got like Harrods. Harrods as well is a very, very interesting place. Knightsbridge area, South Kensington, you sort of get a real good sense for London there as well.
My name's Ed Gould and I'm from Haggerston in East London. Counsel, which means lawyer, and Chief Operating Officer for a tech firm which is just around the corner. Maybe this area, Soho and Covent Garden, to kind of explore kind of central London, maybe do a bit of shopping, see some cafes, and then perhaps South Ken to go to the museums, see the V&A, Natural History Museum, Science Museum, some kind of cultural stuff. And then Hampstead Heath is a fantastic place if the weather is good, just for taking a break from the city, and also it's got brilliant views down on central London as well.
I would say the V&A Museum in Kensington, absolutely. Tower Bridge, just because that's my neck of the woods and I love it. I'm going to say a cinema, and I'm going to say Prince Charles Cinema in Leicester Square, because it's beautiful and it's really, really old. It's not like it is now, like, the Odeon or whatever. It's like red seats and it's really, really pretty.
London is huge, so you obviously need to travel somehow around the city. What's the best way how to travel around London?
My mode of travel of choice is the bicycle, wearing my cycling gloves. If you can brave the traffic and like a little bit of, excitement in your commuting, either using one of the so-called Boris bikes.
Well, I like walking, but obviously to travel between areas you have to get the tube, really, because you have to go between like different areas. But then once you get somewhere, I think walking or biking on the bike. Lots of people go on Boris bikes.
Do you know how much costs to rent a bicycle for a day here?
It's like a couple of pounds, I think, but then you have to keep clocking it for each hour that you use it. But yeah, it's cheap.
London Underground. One beautiful thing about London, which I love, is you can get to anywhere in London by public transport, by trains. And anywhere you need to go, there's always a train stop or train station, easily within about a 5-minute walk, 5 to 6 minute walk, at least within prime central London in the West End. So train would be the best. Yeah.
Why not bicycle?
Raining. No, when it's not raining, yeah, I would recommend. You got the Santander bicycles, which are really fun, cheap as well. They're about £2, but you get the first half an hour free, if my memory serves me correctly.
A lot of people will say bus, and I know a lot of tourists will always say bus because you can see London. Personally, if you're here for one day or for a limited amount of time, tube. Just get on a tube. As long as you know your colours, you're fine.
I would say by bike, but be very careful and be safe. Wear a helmet and know what you're doing. If you're not confident on a bike, I would say tube all day long. Tube is really good. But then I would say top of a bus if you want to see everything. So it just depends how you want to get around. The fastest way is definitely the tube. I think cycling is really, really fun. But then I would say a bus if you kind of just want to chill and have a look around.
So we know what to see in London, how to travel. The next question is where to stay.
I would probably stay in, like, if you're young and want to go to bars and things, stay in East London. Like, there's the Hoxton Hotel or the Ace Hotel, somewhere like that, because around there's like lots of bars and things like that.
You've got two aspects. You've got the hotel side, which in London there's pretty much a hotel on every other corner. But then there's also the Airbnb side. So if you want to get what it really feels like to live in London, Airbnb would be a really good place to start. And there's Airbnbs pretty much anywhere and everywhere in London.
I know Queensway, it's next to Hyde Park. There's a really nice little hotel called Apollo. That's really, really sweet because it's so central, it's kind of small, it's run by a family, so it's really, really sweet and it's really safe as well.
I was going to say St Martin's Lane Hotel. That's really, really nice in Covent Garden. It's a little bit on the pricier side, but it's really, really lovely.
There's one hotel near me in East London, which is always a really cool place to hang out. It's got a cool bar, cafe, restaurant area, and it's got kind of DJs on the weekend, called the Ace Hotel in Shoreditch.
And next question is my favorite, where to eat.
Oh, that's the question. Like, food markets are nice to eat in London. So there's like one in London Bridge, there's Flatiron Square, and they have like lots of different options. So if you're with friends that like different things, then you can go there. Or there's Dinerama in Shoreditch. So it's like a food market that has lots of different things on offer.
How much costs a cup of coffee here in central London?
Between £2 and £3, I'd say. Or from like a chain, but if you went somewhere a bit posher, maybe a bit more.
If you're out and about and you just want to grab something real quick, like real quick, and you're shopping, Joe and the Juice, there's one at every corner in London. Always a Joe and the Juice. I think that's great. But if you want something special, I would try and find, I'd go to Chinatown. I don't know a specific place, I've been to so many, but they're so small and family run, they're gorgeous. So, and you're always going to get a seat in Chinatown, always. So I'd say Chinatown, head to Chinatown.
Do you know any options for vegetarians and vegans?
Definitely, Shoreditch. Shoreditch is your best place. And Camden Docks, they've got everything, vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, anything.
By the way, where you can eat good fish and chips here?
There's a place in Fitzrovia, I haven't eaten there, but I've read a lot about it, called Gigs or Greg's. I apologize if they're watching this. There's some good fish and chips, and if you're going to come to London, I think having fish and chips would be a good way to try and blend in with London itself.
My favourite place is up in actually North London, which is where I grew up. So there's a place in Muswell Hill, and I think they've got a couple of other branches called Toffees, which does really, really good fish and chips.
So here, if you order beer or cider, you order pint.
Yeah.
So what is pint? Explain us.
What is a pint? A pint is just over 500 millilitres of beer, and it's the standard unit in which beer is sold in the UK.
In central London, I would say a pint, you're looking about £5-6, maybe a pint.
You go to a restaurant called The Hind in Marylebone Lane. Best fish and chips in London.
My name is Shristi. I'm from London. I work as a nurse. I recently went to Yatrucha. That was in the city, so that was a pretty nice place. So it's like Asian dim sum kind of thing. Yeah.
Meraki, which is just up the road from where we are, and it's a Greek restaurant, and it's really nice. It's owned by a family, and they have a lot of restaurants in London, very well known. And it's very, very good.
If you want to blow out and go and spend loads of money, you could go to somewhere like Bobo Regard. That's a place where you have a button to press for more champagne in your table.
It's not for free.
No, definitely not for free. Or you could go to Kerridge's Bar and Grill, which is in the Corinthia. It's Tom Kerridge's restaurant. It's amazing. If you want to just eat somewhere quickly, there are loads of cool burger and pizza places. We have Honest Burgers is good. Pizza Pilgrims is amazing for pizza.
Where to go out on Friday night or Saturday night here in London?
Clubbing, the Cuckoo Club.
Why?
It's very well established. It's been open for 12 years. It has 2 floors. On the ground floor you have a more commercial hip-hop R&B kind of vibe, and then downstairs you have a more deep house, tech house vibe. So a lot of the clubs in central London are kind of small. They're like about 400 people, and usually it's just one floor or just one type of music. So Cuckoo offers you these 2 rooms which you can go up and down whenever you want, and enjoy your night.
Shoreditch and Soho. Soho, there's a lot of cocktail bars. There's a lot of one-off bars that turn into clubs, which is great because you don't really have to move far. Soho, you wear high heels. You can't get into a bar unless you're wearing high heels, really. Shoreditch, you can wear trainers, you can wear whatever you want. So it depends what your outfit choices are, what sort of vibe you're looking for. But Shoreditch, there's a lot of underground clubs, and they're not very far from one another. So I'd say Shoreditch is a really good place.
Mahiki's a nice one in Mayfair. It's got a very sort of Caribbean style to it. Very sort of high-end, very classy. A lot of celebrities go there, but it's a very different vibe.
Probably like Soho area, you can go out, there's loads of bars, everyone drinks on the pubs outside. There's some nicer bars. There's somewhere called 100 Wardour Street. Do you know that? Where it's like dancing and stuff. Or in East London, yeah, there's loads of more like casual bars, lots of trendy bars like that.
Last question. Do you think London is sexy?
Sexy? No.
Why not? Why not?
I don't know. Maybe I've lived here for too long. Yes, okay, it is. Some
Okay, you don't think London is sexy. Okay, which city is sexy then?
I'd say like Italy, maybe like Rome.
Hell yes, Karachi. It's a super sexy city, absolutely. And I've been in a few. It's sexier than New York, and it's sexier than Paris.
Absolutely.
What makes you think like that?
Because it goes back to my first point. I've walked through the tube station at 1 a.m. in the morning wearing literally a ball gown, and no one bats an eyelid. So you can literally wear as little or as much as you want, and no one will treat you differently. So in a way, it's just so sexy because you can get into anywhere dressed however you want. And I think that's what's sexy about London.
Is London sexy? Yes. There's not many, in my eyes, people can have different opinions, but London there's not many cities like it. You have New York, which I also love, and it's also very unique in terms of, I look at it in terms of real estate because that's my job, but London in terms of sexy, it's just, you walk around London and everywhere you go, you're like, wow, wow, wow.
Of course it is. It's just the energy, the vibe, and it's uplifting, and that's very attractive in a way, and it makes it sexy, I guess.
Oh, of course. What it attracts beautiful women like you to come and interview Londoners like me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely is. It's not like anywhere else in the world.
There's a lot of sexy people around here, that's for sure. It's hard to say, I'll tell you why, because I come from a hot country, and for me it would be sexy if we had good weather all the time, you know. People seem to be more relaxed, less clothes as well, but definitely, you know, it's a hub here for a lot of beautiful people from all over Europe, so yeah, I could say it's a sexy city.